Hey Chris, how you doing today?
Hi, Ron. Doing great. Looking forward to diving into tiered pricing.
Yeah, tiered pricing is good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about tiered pricing, what the heck it is, and why do we do it. Sometimes we call it multi-tiered pricing, MTP, and sometimes we call it CSP, customer specific pricing. Either way, it's basically the same thing. The thought process is that we're going to give a particular entity a discount. I mean, if you think about it in real super simple terms, right? If you're a wholesaler and I'm selling to you, I'm going to charge you a different price than if I'm selling to a consumer, which is a retail purchaser, right? So now, if you think about why we need multi tiered pricing, think about if you didn't have multi tiered pricing automated in your platform, what would have to come? So let's say you're a wholesaler. You would have to come to my website. You would have to go in and say, okay, I think we're going to need 1,000 of these. You have no idea what the price is going to be. So you put 1,000 into the quote cart. The quote comes then to me in sales. I have to look at it, evaluate it, and then I have to come back and go, well, if Chris buys 1,000 instead of $10 a pop, I'll give it to him for $8.50 a pop. So here, Chris, I'll do it for $8.50. Then it sends you another email, and then you see $8.50, and you're like, oh man, I was hoping for a little better. Can you give me a little better? Can you sharpen your pen? And it's this back and forth. And can you imagine doing that for every wholesaler or distributor that would come to you for every single one of your products, and then
Not
at
to
every
mention
single
the
quantity
delay,
price
right?
break? Was
Yeah.
that?
Not to mention the delay. They need it to be
Oh my gosh.
self-service, right? Yeah.
It would be unmanageable, right? So, what multi tiered pricing does is it allows us to set this up ahead of time. Well, what is setting this up, right? So, I'm going to turn it over to you now and tell me what this is, right? What am I setting up?
Yeah, great question. So, look, this is one of those scenarios where a complex pricing model could differentiate you between your competition if you're able to show it on your site or provide it in a real-time way that is, like we said, self-service.
Right.
And if your competitors do have this, you could be out of the market or lose market share quickly because you're not servicing your customers properly. And so the mechanics behind this are typically, it does depend on your business as to how you may want to do this. But generally speaking, it tends to be either an uplift or a discount. So you may have a base price and you're putting an uplift for like a retail pricing and then, sort of a smaller uplift to get above your cost for discount tiers. It may also be that you have discounts from a retail price, just kind of like a highest price that you would offer, and then you offer discounts against that. A lot of our clients also do quantity based pricing. So you can essentially have rules for different buckets of customers where there would be percentages of discount, etc. You could also have a scenario where you have a set of quantity price breaks, and that's all there is to it. It's not customer specific; it's just quantity based for that product.
Right.
In addition, it's also very common to have just like a total order volume. If you purchase this much, or if you purchase this amount of products, you get this amount of shipping, and the list goes on. One of the biggest things that we found is that for this to be practical, typically it has to match what is in your accounting system or your accounting software, ERP, warehouse management, etc. It really needs to match that model. So typically there are quantity based discounts, and then there are essentially pricing rules where there's some form of logic in that pricing rule. And usually this goes along the lines of some combination of what I just shared, some discount tier system, customer buckets, percentages. I mean, we've even seen cases where if they buy a certain amount within this category, then all of that gets discounted. It doesn't really matter. The main thing is that there's typically some logic within your ERP, and you want to make sure that your e-commerce can handle that. So does it have the capability to have complex rules that it can handle? And can that be integrated back from the ERP into the e-commerce dynamically? And then, I think ultimately this really kind of goes into how it's used and implemented. So we have all this data coming in. It needs to be live because doing this at scale just isn't practical manually. So yes, could we do some form of bulk upload or bulk import of this pricing data? Sure. But most of the time, what we find sort of at scale is customers are doing this as a as a live interaction, a connectivity to their ERP or accounting software, right? And
Right.
so, just to kind of talk about how it's actually implemented once we've got the data, I think it would be great for you to just kind of share with folks, how that part of the process goes.
Yeah. Just historically, for all the ones that we've done, and Chris has been here 17 years. I've been here 12 and was a client for 2.5 years prior. So Chris and I've worked together almost 15 years. We've seen a lot of these. And the three basic models that we typically see are the hidden price model. So let's say, for example, I go to Costco.com and I don't see any pricing on any products, but when I log in, because I have a membership, it validates during the authorization, pop in, and boom, prices suddenly appear, and now I can buy, right? That's very common. So hidden prices is one of the most simple. The other one is the auto swapping of prices. So I know, like so it could be Costco.com. Let's say Costco allows guest checkout. So I go to Costco and it shows full MSRP. And if I want a guest checkout and I don't want to spend the $55 or $110 for a membership, I can pay the full price and buy that widget from Costco because it's the only place I can find it. They could do that, but if I log in and it validates my membership, then I get membership pricing. And so upon login, it auto changes the pricing. So I could have a single portal where when Ron logs in, he gets retail pricing. But when Ron, who's a reseller, logs in, he gets different pricing versus wholesaler logging in, distributor logging in, or maybe you've got a favored nation status with Walmart who demands the best price, and Walmart buyers log in and they get the best price, right? So you can have any number of different pricing tables and prices. And as they log in, it auto recalculates and sets those rules that Chris is talking about. And so it's just automatically updated in real time and shows them their real price that they would get. And then the final one that a lot of clients will do is they'll have unique portals. And a lot of times this is when they either offer different bundling, different marketing, different messaging, and more than just price. So they'll have a dealer portal, they'll have a consumer portal, they'll have a B2B portal, a B2C portal. And we just did this for one of our clients, Rydell Skates, right? They had a dealer portal because the dealer is ordering skates in quantity, whereas the consumer is ordering one at a time. So the actual UI UX was completely different in that ordering. And so we had to have different portals. It wasn't just the dealer got a better price than the consumer did. But I'm going to run through a quick example right now, and I want to show it to you on the screen. So here's one of our clients, Brick Packaging, and this is a B2B purchasing portal. So I'm going to go to this bottle right here, and you can see the price is $10.53. I'm going to click Add to Cart, and then I'm going to also click Add to Quote Card. So you can see up in the right-hand corner in the header, we actually have one bottle in each of the checkout cart and the other cart. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go click on the checkout cart. And you can see at quantity one, my price is $10.53. I'm going to go ahead and swap the quantity because it's going to force me. You can see the pop-up says, sorry, you have to buy these in cases of 16. So I'm going to go ahead and put 4,200 bottles and I'm going to update the price. And I don't remember the price in my head. I'll show it to you on the screen when I record it later, but it's like $44,000 or something like that. And so you can tell the price, 4,200 times 1053 is going to be roughly about that $44,000. So even at a quantity of 4,200, I'm not getting a discount. So you can see down here, we have a button that says convert to quote. So if I was a retail buyer and say, well, since I'm buying so many, I wonder if they'll give me a discount, I could convert this to quote and ask for a quote. But in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and log in. So up in the top right corner where I go to log in, you can see I still have my quote cart at 1053, and that's going to be important here in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and log in, and as soon as I hit login, you can see the price has changed drastically. So basically what it did was it logged me in, it looked up my user, saw that my user was a reseller or distributor, applied that discount, and it came back and discounted. But what I want you to notice is if you go back up to the quote cart in the header, you'll notice that at quantity one, the price is actually $9.81. But down here where I have my 4,200 bottles, the price is actually $8.91. So it's less than $9 when at quantity one, it's just less than $10. So not only when I logged in, did the multi-tiered pricing give me my discount as a reseller, it also applied a quantity price break that didn't exist beforehand. And it all was just seamless. Now, had I logged in before I started shopping, when I went to that bottle, instead of showing 1053 on the screen, it would have showed 981, which would have been a quantity one. And then if on that screen before I added to cart, I would have put 4200, it would have changed it to 891. And then I could have added to cart and it would have updated. So that's just a quick implementation of showing you what a live, real implementation of multi-tiered pricing or quantity price breaks looks like. Chris, you want to close us out?
Absolutely. Just in general, one of the things that we want you to think about with tiered pricing is that if it's seamless and straightforward for your business and self-service for your end customers, it will probably work well. It
Yeah.
probably won't otherwise. If you're looking for a solution or just options that are available and best practices, you really don't need to look any further. If you would like complimentary consultation and a no sales discovery process to just understand what options are out there, feel free to reach out to us. Otherwise, we really appreciate you watching this video and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks for watching and bye for now.
Bye for now.